Jenna Mealy, the park naturalist at Bear Branch Nature Center. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to everyone that came out this past Sunday for our Monarch Madness Festival. For those of you that couldn't join us, or for those that could join us and were upset that you didn't get to see the release due to the rain, I have some happy news for you. We're gonna go ahead and tag 2 of our last monarchs here and then do a nice big release of all the girls and boys that we have in this container, because it is a gorgeous day and they are ready to go and migrate. So with Monarch tagging, we partner with the Monarch Watch, and each year they send us this nice lovely envelope that inside has all of your tags here. So your tags are these little almost hole punched size stickers that have both the number that is making each one of these butterflies individual, and then it has the organization's email address that you can upload your data to them. Then you get your lovely chart here, and this is your data sheet that you keep all of your information on. So the important things are, we're writing down the number that is on the tag, when we released the butterflies, whether it was a male or female, which I'll go over how you can tell the difference between a male and female monarchs, whether it was reared or wild caught. So all of our monarchs that we do here are all reared. Usually they're collected in either the egg or the first instar little teeny caterpillar stage, and that helps to prevent the spread of diseases, helps to prevent any parasites from already being in these caterpillars. And then you write where they're being let go. So today I have our last 2 monarchs that need to be tagged here. We have a male and a female so that I can show you the difference. So we are going to be tagging number 915 and number 916, going right in order. So let me get these guys out and I will bring them up to the camera so you can see the difference between boys and girls. We will start with our lovely little lady right here. Now, for all of you screaming, why are you touching the butterfly? It is okay. So butterflies in general they're pretty fragile, right? They have scales that cover their wings, and if those scales get rubbed off, that's when they end up not being able to fly. Hence why we couldn't release them on Sunday with the rain. We didn't want any of these guys getting their scales messed up so that they couldn't fly. If you just hold the butterfly where both of their pairs of wings are nice and closed, they're not struggling, you're not smushing your fingers around, it is perfectly okay to hold a butterfly right like this. And this is how we are going to tag this butterfly. Where we're going to put the sticker is right in this middle cell here. It's called the discal cell. And there have been tons of studies done to prove that that little bit of extra weight on their one wing does not affect their ability to fly and to migrate all the way down to Mexico. Now, to tell that this is a girl versus a boy, it's easiest if their wings are open, unless after you do it for a couple years, you get pretty easy at being able to tell from the outside. But if I kind of shift her over, make her open up her beautiful wings right here. So if we look, she has very thick veins, all those black thick lines, which makes her a female. And then also, if we look at her bottom wings here, she does not have 2 black dots. It'll make more sense once I show you the male, those 2 black dots. What it's thought that those dots used to be, they're actually pockets. And it was thought that they were originally used for like pheromones and smelling, things like that, and that they're now a vestigial organ. It's something that they don't really use anymore. So we know that this is a little girl, so we're gonna write F, female, on our chart. And then she is going to be number 915. So I'm gonna write female. Get my little sticker right here. Surprisingly, the best people at putting on these little stickers are actually kids. Because they have teeny fingers, and instead of big fat fingers that the stickers get all stuck to, sometimes if you're not quite nimble enough, you can also put it on with like a toothpick. So then we're gonna go ahead, here's our little tag, right in the middle of that discal cell. Once you place it down, important, you do not wanna rip it back off. So it does not have to be perfect. And then once you give it a little squeeze, now she is set and ready to go. One of my favorite ways to then go ahead and release is you gotta give them like a good launching pad, right? So Oh, she didn't stay very long. She is ready to go. Sometimes they like to stay and they'll like lick the salt off of your nose. So we'll see what our boy decides to do. But she's heading, so she is ready to go. Now with our male, he is going to be number 916. So let me get him out. Come here, buddy. So when I let him open up his wings, you can see the difference there with the veining. It's not as thick. And then those 2 black dots right there, that is making him a little boy. So I'm gonna go ahead, fold him back up so that he's nice and safe. Perfect. And then grab his sticker. And we'll see how interested he is in staying. He wants to stay a little bit, so he'll kind of go wherever he wants to go on my eyeball. All the good stuff here. The kids love this. So if you do Monarch rearing and tagging and releasing yourself, definitely highly recommend on the nose, or if your kids have some sensory things, right on the fingertip, because they do tickle a little bit. Definitely tickle. Now, for the fun part, we of course have all of our other lovely Monarchs in here. They are ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to unzip the top of our case here and go ahead and let them fly on out. Some of them are definitely ready, others we might have to shuffle a little bit, but we shall go ahead and let these guys migrate. They're going to be migrating again all the way down to Mexico. It's about 3,000 miles from here in Maryland. These are the 4th generation. There goes one. So these guys are the 4th generation that's going to migrate down to Mexico. There we go. Sometimes they need the sun. They're like, that's what a lot of these guys are actually doing right now. They have their wings spread flat because they're trying to get warm. So actually, we're gonna walk this way just a little bit so we get in the sunlight. There they go. Come on, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ready? There you go. Go ahead. There we go. They were also right inside of our lobby, which is a little air conditioned, so they're like, oh, it's not as cold out here, okay. And so they're all sitting here warming up their wings so that they can get ready to take off then. There we go. These guys will probably hook up with a couple of other monarchs as they make their migration. Similar to birds migrating when they all get together in big flocks. These guys will do that too. And hook up, and these guys do not travel across the ocean, so they're following the coastline all the way down and along the edge. And there are certain big stopover points that these guys will kind of all meet together. They roost overnight. They're not night flyers. Bye, buddy. And then they will all head out together then once it's a beautiful day such as today. There you go. They're like, oh wait, I'm outside. Here we go, I'm ready. Go ahead. Go ahead. You gonna go? Oh, my buddy on my head took off. Anybody that sometimes doesn't really want to go very far, I like to pick them up. We're gonna walk again. Doo-doo. Sometimes they just need a little bit of a snack. So we're actually gonna walk right over to our little pollinator garden here if they don't decide to take off with the wind. Lovely blue mist flower right here. Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah, and she was thirsty, so she's already sticking out her proboscis, getting a nice drink. There you go. Yeah, unfortunately, due to the rain, we did have to keep them a couple of days, so they're definitely interested in getting that nectar to fuel up. Monarchs will actually gain a weighable amount of weight in order to make the migration all the way down to Mexico. They'll then overwinter in the Oyamel forests, and in about Marchish is when they will start making the migration back up into the United States. Everybody has heard monarchs are now on the endangered list through the IUCN. We're lucky living in the United States that the biggest thing that you can do to actually help them, plant native. So we have our little patch here, but all over in our tribute garden. That garden's been going on for 2 years now. And then of course, if you've ever been to Bear Branch and Hoshawa, we have all of our fields of goldenrod, which is one of the most important fall nectar sources for these guys. They gather in big bunches to suck up as much nectar as they possibly can to make the journey. So biggest thing you can do, plant natives, plant your native nectar plants. And also, if we move one last time, we'll show you the start of the cycle. So of course, besides planting adult butterfly food, you gotta plant the baby's food too. So we have a bunch of different types of milkweed that are little baby monarchs. Here's one here. Actually, here's a whole party of them down here. They probably were on this piece, and you can see they have completely stripped this. And so they were like, it's time to move. Look, there's like 5 of them on this piece. So make sure that you're planting food not only as a nectar source for your adult monarchs, but also as a baby food source, your host plant of all your milkweeds. Just because it's a weed doesn't mean that it's not a good thing. So again, thank you all for joining us today in our lovely little release. We still have a couple more chrysalises inside that as they eclose or emerge, we'll go ahead and tag them and release them and help us wish them all a happy migration. Bye-bye, butterfly.